back to the pod. I have two special guests with me today. We have Adam from AGN Entertainment, who is also a co-host. Do you want to welcome yourself in, Adam? How are you today, brother? How's your day been?
Yeah, good, Jamie. Thank you. Great to be back on with you, and very excited to talk some more Euros. It's been a good day, and feeling fresh and ready to talk some football.
Happy days, happy days. And we also have Josh on here as well. Let me pull you over, Josh, so everyone can see you. How are you today, brother? How's your day been?
Yeah, it's been all right. Yeah, really look good. I mean, I should be having my England kit on because I'm definitely watching the England game tomorrow, of course. I mean, to be honest with you, I've just forgot to put it out my wardrobe, but I'll try and find it definitely in the evening because I'm definitely supporting England tomorrow for this. Obviously, I'm a big England fan, of course. I'm born ready for tomorrow's England game. But yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, good to hear that, bro. So I'm going to pull myself back over. Basically, people, what we are doing today, this is It's Coming Home podcast. My bad, I didn't mention it in the intro, but this is the It's Coming Home podcast where we talk all things Euro and we do like match reactions, we do watch-alongs, we do everything over here, boys. We do absolutely everything. So what I'm going to do here for you people, you'll be able to see on your screen. I am going to pull up the Euro 2024 results and we're going to have a little look through the results. Currently in the background, I have Germany and Hungary playing as we are speaking right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through a couple of the results and we can just have a little talk about it. We'll start off with Belgium versus Slovakia. It was a really, really, really big toe-to-toe game, weren't it? It could have went either way. And Slovakia have come out the other end and done really, really well. They took a result. And I'm not going to say this to big. There we go, people. Germany have just scored Gundogan. I thought I'd just give you a quick little update, people, if people are watching. Aykan Gundogan has just scored. So that is 2-0 Germany-Hungary. Moving back over to Belgium versus Slovakia. So Slovakia, the underdogs, have come out, beat Belgium. And I did, and I'm not going to big myself up, but I did say that Belgium would flop. And I think Adam knows this. I put it all over my TikTok. I put that I think that Belgium would flop in this tournament. So, Josh, I'm going to put you on first. Did you watch the Belgium-Slovakia game, my brother?
Wait, which game are you talking about?
Belgium versus Slovakia.
That one, I think. What was it like yesterday or today?
That was on the 17th. So that was 2 days ago, bro.
No, I didn't. But I think I did.
Yeah, but you didn't get the chance to watch it. That's okay, bro. So basically, Slovakia beat Belgium 1-0, and it's underdog versus bigger country because obviously Belgium is Belgium, and they're a good side. They've got Kevin De Bruyne, they've got Leo Trossard, they've got some big hitters in there, boys. And Slovakia have done a job on them and beat them 1-0. So I'll just move over to Adam. AGN, whatever we want to call you. Who give me some thoughts on the Belgium Slovakia game? Did you watch it? Because I was at, what time was the game on? I think it was the 5 o'clock kickoff, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 5
Yeah, it was the 5 o'clock. I was coming back from work, and also I'm a busy guy. I do a lot of podcasts, so I probably missed half of the games and so on. So that's why I've got the boys on here to give people some insight into how the games were. And it's just a little Euro chat, people. So Ads, how did you find the Slovakia-Belgium game, mate?
Yeah, so I did watch bits and pieces of it. Not the whole game, admittedly, but bits and pieces. And I think the most resounding thing I took away from it was Belgium just weren't very clinical. They've got great players, of course, haven't they? De Bruyne, Lukaku, the Doku as well, who was running very, very well at the Slovakian fullback. But they just didn't make the most of their chances. They didn't maximise their squad potential, really, in the game. And they ended up being sucker punched. And this was something we were talking about previously, wasn't it, Jamie? That we were waiting for a few shock results, and now we're seeing them come in, and that was definitely one of them. But Belgium look in a very, in a very poor state for the rest of the tournament now.
Yeah, they do, and I think it was the Lukaku. Oh, is this going to be 3-0? No. This was the Lukaku of Chelsea. This was the Lukaku of Manchester United, where it wasn't Lukaku going into this tournament, scored 16 goals, and he was the leading scorer.
Sorry, Jamie. Can you
all right, go on, bro. Yeah, go do what you got to do, brother. Do what you got to do. So Lukaku was the leading scorer going into this tournament, people, with 16 goals. And Romelu Lukaku was on, I don't know whether it's for club, because I don't really know how well he's done for club, but for Belgium, he's their main go-getter. And he was poor when I watched the game. He was very, very poor. He had his normal club foot where the ball would touch his foot and it would end up in the sky. So do you want to touch on Lukaku's performance there, Ads?
Yeah, Lukaku was a bit of a trampoline, wasn't he?
Yeah.
The ball was just going off.
That's to put it lightly, brother.
Just going off his foot way up into the stratosphere. No, I mean, you're completely right. Lukaku was the Chelsea Lukaku, the United Lukaku, the Lukaku who played in the Inter Milan Man City final and missed a really glaring opportunity in that. I don't know what it is. He just doesn't look almost cut out for big tournament football, for these big competitions. He doesn't seem to be able to put his form into these competitions. And I don't know if that's surprising or not, to be honest. I've never been overly impressed by Lukaku. He's a good player, no doubt about that, but he just doesn't turn it on in the big moments, and he's not clinical enough. I mean, we always remember those scenes of him screaming into the air when he missed chances in the last major tournament, and it looks very similar this time. But it's a very odd one with Belgium. Very good squad, but they just don't seem to be turning it on as a team.
No, and like we said, Lukaku was poor. Josh, what's your thoughts on Lukaku? I know you didn't watch the match, mate, but what's your thoughts on Romelu Lukaku, brother?
Well, you know one thing about Lukaku, yeah, like, you know, this every single time I watch Belgium, I always know that Lukaku's going to score, because one thing I know about him is that he's always hungry to score against Belgium. You know why I'm using the word hungry to score? When I mean hungry to score, like, he's just always eager to like run up and score, because like he's like the top player from like Inter Milan. That's the thing. Like he's really good at scoring.
Yeah, Lukaku is, and like I've just said, Josh, you just missed it, bro. But he's the leading scorer going into this Euros. He scored 16 goals, bro. He scored 16 goals going in the qualifiers. So I think next in second place was Harry Kane with 12 goals. So we've touched on Slovakia and Belgium a little bit, and obviously I can't give you too much insight into it, people, because I actually don't think I was at work. I think I was live streaming over on TikTok. So I had about 6 guests in, so it was hard to keep on top of it. But moving over to Austria versus France. And this is where I'm going to touch on a few little England fans. And I know we're all England fans here. And I'm going to come out here and say, all the England fans, what we're saying, oh, we should have smashed Serbia. We should have done this. We should have beaten 3-0, 4-0, whatever, yeah?
You know what? I remember I had some friend of mine saying the same thing to me. Sorry to cut you off here, because you know, to be honest with you, when they were saying we should have won by far, but like, yeah, I think we should have won by far, but 1-0, we should take that. What's the point of England fans moaning because we just won by like 1 goal? It's just 1-0. We still won Serbia. We should be happy about that. We're like, don't criticize like the players for not scoring by far. We at least beat Serbia. We're gonna do one in the Euros. So I don't know why they were complaining. England fans.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I do agree with you, because France have gone and struggled against Austria. I think Austria in the game, Austria could have got a goal as well. I think both teams, it could have gone either way. People might look at it differently through stats, but what I'm going through, what I was watching with my own 2 eyes, and the fact of the matter was that Austria could have won and scored a goal. And then they had numerous chances to go and score goals, and so did France. And if you look at the stats and the starting 11 and the team ratings, every single player was a 6.8 or below, so they were in the amber ratings. When you see ratings, anything over 7 is a green. There was one player that was over 7, and that was William Saliba. And I know we're all Arsenal fans, and we're all going to big up William Saliba, but he played in a left centre-back position, what weren't his natural position, and he was the best player on the pitch, and I'm pretty sure he got man of the match as well. And then that Didier Deschamps did not want to play him, and he's eventually played him, and look what's happened. Look what he's seeing. He's seeing what us Arsenal fans always see. So in hindsight, William Saliba should be starting for them every week now. He's been their best defender, and then now he's just proven Didier Deschamps wrong. I don't know what's wrong with Didier Deschamps. I don't know what he's drinking. I don't know if he's eating too many snails, but I don't know what's going on with the boy. So Adam, your thoughts on that France and Austria game?
Yeah, you're both very right, aren't you? I mean, tournament football was not easy, and France, stuttered to a victory. And as you rightly say, Saliba was the crucial player in that victory for his defensive performance. So, it was a gritty game, a pretty gritty game that France, just got themselves over the line in. And sometimes I think, we forget, don't we, that tournament football in some senses is similar to football generally. Sometimes you just got to win ugly. And France definitely won that game in an ugly fashion. I didn't watch that game and think, oh, they're on fire, they're brilliant, they're this, they're that. They looked distinctly, I wouldn't say average, but they looked distinctly sort of not that phenomenal when we know that they are with their squad. So yeah, 1-0 win shows you it's tough. These teams, your Austrias, your Serbias, your Hungaries, even, these are difficult games that top teams have to win, no matter how.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, because that's why I kind of touched on the whole England fans and the Serbia thing, because all the England fans were saying stuff about, oh, we should be beating Serbia. Serbia are, and I put this out there, people, I said this on my podcast just before, Serbia are the second best team in our group. And people don't think this, they think Denmark. I watched that Denmark game and they were poor. And then they played against Slovenia and they drew. And then all England need now is one win and we're through. We're chilling, mate. We can put our normal starting 11 out again, and in the third game we can drop some players, we can rest some players, we can do what we need to do. But just the fact that France, who's everyone's favourites, including my own, only just scraped to win against Austria, just shows how hard this tournament really is. Did you watch the France vs Austria game, Josh?
The France vs Austria game. I think was it yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah,
that was yesterday. No, that was Monday. That was Monday.
It was Monday.
Evening.
Yeah, it was kind of a good game. And I was definitely watching France just to see Mbappe score. Like, who scored that first goal? I keep forgetting that. Who scored?
I think it was Mbappe scored, no?
I think it was Mbappe, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can quickly click on it for you. Let's have
check the highlights, and I think it was Mbappe.
It was it was an own goal, Maximilian Woba.
Oh, right, I see. Yeah, it was. I think it was a deflection. That's what happened.
So we can quickly have a look at the stats on it. So France had 14 shots, 3 shots on target. Austria had 6 shots and 3 on target, so which is pretty equal. Austria actually had more possession. They actually had more passes. They didn't have the same passing accuracy. They had a lot more fouls and a lot more yellows, but it looks kind of even. Do you boys see? So, Josh, are you thinking this is kind of even?
Yeah, it does.
It looks very even, doesn't it, bro?
Yeah.
Adam, do you think it's very even, brother?
Yeah, definitely, and that was sort of shown sort of watching the game as well. It did seem, much more closely matched, as you say. Austria could have scored themselves, so yeah, a very even game.
Yeah, and I think we've touched enough on that France game, because we're trying to trickle through all of the games here, people. We're going to move on over to yesterday's game, which was Group F, match day 1, and that was Georgia versus Turkey. And watching this game, Turkey could have, Georgia could have actually have had this game. I think personally, it went 1-1, and then Arda Güler scored an absolutely goal, and then there was another goal by Mohamed. I'm not going to even butcher that name, but he scored in the 90 plus 7th minute, meaning they scored later on in the game. That's when the goalkeeper came up, when Mamardashvili came up from the corner. And they've come on the counter-attack and scored, basically. So it was a very, very tight game. Watching Georgia, they had quite a few chances, and they just didn't put away their chances. They could have won 2-1. Turkey could have won 2-1, but it ended up being 3-1. Josh, did you watch this game, brother?
No, I didn't. Sorry.
No, it's all right, bro, because you've been busy like me, bro. I've been at work.
Yeah, I've been really busy with college and all that.
Yeah, so and there's a lot of games, bro. There's a lot of games to watch, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really watch all these games when I'm really busy and all the time, but some of the Euro games that you mentioned to me, I've actually had to watch it, because it was in my free time,
Yeah, I get you, brother. Adam, do you want to touch on that game, bro?
Yeah, I watched the highlights of the game. Didn't watch it live, but I think Turkey look quite impressive, actually.
Yeah.
They look like quite an impressive outfit, a side that are united with certain amounts of quality throughout the side. They haven't dispatched convincingly Georgia, but I thought they played quite well from what I saw on the highlights. What was reflected on that highlight package. It looked like they played very well and certainly deserved to win. And I think they win their first game as well. I think they did, didn't they?
Who? Turkey. This was the first game of the group.
Was that their first game? Okay, I must be getting confused with somebody else then. But they did look good, and I think they'll qualify. Actually, I think they'll get through their group.
Yeah, I do as well. I kind of ripped Turkey off, to be honest with you, lads. I thought Turkey was going to be, the World Cup. When everyone's like, "Oh, Turkey's my dark horses," and they just got spanked by everyone. That's what I thought about Turkey, and they've ended up winning 3-1. But it could have actually have gone either way. Josh? What you got any thoughts on Turkey? Did you have them as an underdog or anything, mate?
Nah, sorry.
Nah, you didn't have them as an underdog or anything, no. And what did you have them as an underdog or anything, Adam? Are you surprised how well they're playing?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say I had them as an underdog. But what I would say about Turkey, and remembering this as an England fan, they're a tough nut to crack. They are a difficult side to play. I remember years and years ago, one of the early games with Turkey that we had when I was a child. It was 0-0. Beckham missed a penalty. So they're a difficult
I do remember
side.
that he missed a penalty.
Yeah,
that was
that's
2002.
Right.
That was at the World Cup, weren't it?
I think it was. Yeah, he skied it, didn't he? And then
World Cup. He had Rustu in goal, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
Things all across his here.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Rustu. Yeah,
I forgot his Rustu. Yeah, and their fans are particularly hostile as well.
Yeah, they were very, very hostile. I remember that.
Fan base. Yeah. So they're
see that ball knowledge there, Adam. Straight away, that ball knowledge. 2002. Yeah. I was 9.
I think I was about 7, mate. So
so it's a bit of a mad one how we could just pull out names and go remember him. But you know what he reminded me of? Shall I tell you the Turkey goalkeeper what he always reminded me of, bro? Do you remember? Have you watched The Mummy? If you used to The Mummy, The Mummy Returns, like The Mummy, the movie.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a geezer in that what looked exactly like the goalkeeper, and it always reminded me of it. I don't know if you've ever put it together like that, but yeah, that's just me playing silly buggers. So shall we move on to Portugal versus Czech Republic? Adam, do you want to take the lead, bro?
Yeah, very happy to. Actually, this was a game I watched every single minute of, including the added time at the end. Watched and enjoyed every single second of this game. First of all, shout out to the Czech Republic goal scorer, Provod. What a goal that was.
Oh, yeah.
It was absolutely.
But I'm actually happy for Portugal that won, Like, it was a good goal for Czech Republic, but I was really rooting for Portugal because, one thing, the second goal, of course, I saw Ronaldo's assist. Ronaldo's assist was really good. I mean, I thought Ronaldo was going to retire from Portugal from that 2022 World Cup that they bottled, but Ronaldo still thought that he would try and make this team progress, try and get to at least a quarter final. But to be honest with you, I see Portugal. I mean, I want England to bring it home, but I see Portugal going to the quarter final because of this result now. Like Ronaldo's assist, and I just know Ronaldo could have scored. He was really so close to scoring. And
Ronaldo was poor, bro. Ronaldo was
poor.
I
thought he was as well. Yeah, I thought Ronaldo didn't have his best game.
I'll come in a little bit. I think that Ronaldo, they tried to play to him way too much. They were looking for him too much, and then I think he should have been subbed in that game, and then they would have played better. When they started not playing to him as much, because every time they just kept trying to cross the ball into where Ronaldo was, they weren't playing their own game. They were trying to look for him too much. And as soon as they stopped kind of doing that they brought these subs on and they started not doing it a little bit more and they started playing properly, then they looked like a much better team. They looked like a team that actually could go and win the tournament. You agree with that, Adam?
Yeah, that's completely right, Jamie. When they won 1-0 down, mate, that was when they were at their best because the desperation set in. And because they were then desperate to score an equaliser, the whole we'll look for Ronaldo thing was cast aside. And rightly so, because Portugal have a lot of very quality players. I mean, Bernardo Silva, Bruno, they've got a wealth of talent in their side. The left back was really good as well. I've forgotten his name off the top of my head. Nuno, is it Nuno?
Nuno Mendes, left back for
Nuno
PSG.
Mendes, that's it. Nuno Mendes was fantastic. Played a really, really good game as well.
He played really, really well.
If we're talking about dark horses, I'd put them forward. I would.
Who?
Portugal.
Favourites.
I think Portugal could go far.
Their squad is actually. You know what? While we're here,
like I said, why I think Portugal? Yeah, sorry. Why I think Portugal get to the quarterfinals because of Cristiano Ronaldo. The greatest footballer of all time. Like I think of his assist, that the way it is to be great. That I see Portugal making it to the quarterfinal for real.
Oh, to be honest with you, Josh, mate, I think that they might drop him the next game. And that's just being honest with you. I know, there's a lot of Ronaldo fanboys out there, but I think in that 60th, 70th minute, they should have pulled him off. They should have brought on Gonzalo Ramos, or they should have played Joao Felix as the false nine. Because they've got this much talent. They've got Bernardo Silva, they've got Joao Cancelo, they've got Vitinha, they've got Diogo Costa, they've got Matias Nunes, they've got Gonzalo Ramos, they've got Ruben Diaz, they've got Conte Sal, they've got Rafael Leao, they've got Bruno Fernandes, they've got Joao Felix, they've got Bruma, they've got Pepe, they've got Ronaldo. They've got all these players, and their team is so quality. But they were just looking. They were looking for him way too much, and it just weren't working. Yeah. And then once they stopped doing it, it worked. It worked. It completely worked. And I love Cristiano. I do. I love him. I'm a Ronaldo fanboy. Well, I love Messi, but I love them both. And
I like Messi more than Ronaldo because I remember Messi won that trophy in the World Cup. Like, obviously, they say Messi the GOAT, but like I still like Ronaldo. But I'm more of a Messi fan than Ronaldo, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So am I. But I think people who I think if people are saying it's going to be because of Ronaldo, I don't think he's going to play much part in them getting through. I really don't. I think yesterday was when you looked and I watched him and I just thought this ain't the same Cristiano Ronaldo that I know. And I don't know if you thought any of you two thought that. But I looked at him and I was like, you ain't the same Cristiano no more.
He looked slower. He looked
he looked a lot slower,
noticeably slower.
And then his head when he was headering the ball and stuff. You know when he missed that header. The old Cristiano, he loved that bam. He'd be heading that in, mate. You know, he'd leap off the ground. That was Cristiano. And then yesterday, I just don't. And then you know the offside goal when he headed it and he hit the post. That was such an easy header. Like the old Ronaldo would have absolutely buried that, bro. He would have absolutely buried it for a joke. But what I'm gonna do, we can scroll down the squad a little bit more and we can have a look because I think it's not letting me. Let's move on over. So. Let's move over to that next result. So moving over to results of today, really. Croatia versus Albania. I have been at work today, so I have not seen it. I can't comment on any of it. I don't want to sit here and be a bad podcast host and say, I know this and start just blagging it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that type of person.
You don't want to be an embarrassment to the people who are watching this live right now.
Exactly. I'm not just going to sit here and just talk absolute waffle. Even though my name is Jamie Waffles Footy, I'm not going to waffle. I'm not going to waffle today, lads. I am not going to waffle. Josh, have you watched this game today, brother? Because I certainly haven't.
Which game?
Croatia versus Albania at 1 o'clock today. Oh, is that 2?
To be honest, I think 1 o'clock, of course. I think I was literally where the moment I came back from college, I was literally really busy, so I didn't really have the time. I mean, this ain't an embarrassment, but it's the truth because I think that's the people.
This is an embarrassment. These podcasters ain't been watching football, and they're putting up videos about
that's
football.
The thing that I don't really watch all the Euros that are going on all at once every day. I don't do that. I only watch some that I have time to watch. You get me?
Yeah, I've watched every game up to the past 2 days. That's why I'm saying I'm an awful podcaster right now. But that's why we have Adam to come in. Adam.
Yeah, so I did watch bite-sized chunks of it, and what I would say is that Albania, what fighting spirit to come back. They were unbelievably spirited, never gave up, and really that is the nexus of European football in tournaments like this, international football, that never say die attitude. After all, for instance, I'm quarter Greek, so I remember Greece winning Euro 2004.
Yeah, I remember that as well. I do remember that as well. 1-0, weren't it, in the final?
1-0, yeah, against Ronaldo's Portugal at the time.
Yeah, it was Ronaldo's Portugal as well. Yeah, because that's when that happened with Wayne Rooney, if I'm correct.
Yes,
where you got Wayne Rooney sent off that tournament, weren't it? 2004 Euros. Because they fell out with each other, and he'd only been there a season at Man United.
Yeah, gosh, yeah, that would have been pretty awkward in training, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's why. Because I remember all the press and that afterwards about it. Carry on, Adam.
Yeah.
I interrupted you there. Sorry, mate.
No. Yeah, I'm not for a minute suggesting Albania will win the tournament. Clearly, they won't. But they did very well to hang in there, and Croatia are a very good side. Let's not forget, Croatia got to the semi-final of the World Cup, so they're a very decent little outfit, Croatia, with some really good players. But again, it just hasn't worked for them this tournament so far.
No.
And they look very likely to be exiting at the group stage, which is a phenomenal thing to say, really.
Yeah, it really is.
When you think about how good they are. We spoke to somebody the other day, didn't we, Jamie? Someone that was saying that they thought Modric was their favourite player of the tournament.
We did. And then I kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
Do you know what, bro? Like, well, I did a live watch along for this, and well, not for this game, for their first game. I did a live watch along for Croatia, and I looked at their squad, and then because they played Spain, didn't they? They got spanked by Spain, and I thought, you know what, Croatia could give them a go. Just looking at their names, and then I forgot that how old the players were, and it come back to bite me in the ass because I thought that Croatia might have got the result, and then now I'm thinking they should go out really because they've been poor, they've been very very poor. But if you look at the stats and everything now, people, actually, I'm just going to touch on one thing actually before we start looking at stats. People, if you're watching this on playback right now, remember to hit that 3-punch combination by liking, subscribing, and commenting down below. Remember that 3-punch combination, and we've got it. You see Adam doing it in the background. Josh, can you give us a 3-punch combination quickly, bro?
About what? Sorry.
Just give us a 3-punch combination because that's what it is over on this channel. Go bam, bam, bam.
Okay, like so it's about the football thing or something.
No. So basically, Josh, I always ask people to do a 3-punch combination by liking, subscribing.
Oh yeah, and also make sure
Make
sure you comment as well. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, that's the
one.
Comment
as well. Like, give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for, boys. So we're looking at the stats here. Croatia actually looked like they absolutely battered them by the looks of things. The only thing I can touch on is obviously the stats because I haven't watched the game, people. It was 2-2. They had 22 shots to Albania's 15, which looks like such a good game. This was such a good game by the looks of things. I know that. Did Albania go 1-0 up, then it went 1-1, then it went 2-1, then it went 2-2? Is that correct by me saying that? Correct. Yeah? Because I was getting live updates, but I was at work. I had people messaging me on TikTok and going, because I had a prediction. I did predictions before the game, and I said 1-1. I said this would be a draw.
That's a good shout.
If you go over my TikTok, people, everyone knows me as Jay Gunner 17. Go over there and you'll have a look and you'll see that I did say a 1-1 draw. I might have not got the actual result. I got the result right, but not the correct score. So 10 shots on target, and then Croatia had 68% possession to 32%. So they battered them by the stats. But did they batter them during the game, Adam?
It was that one of those games you see where you get a favourite side who come at a team, and then the team goes 1-0 up. The opposition will go 1-0 up. And then they keep on going. And you're thinking to yourself, if Albania can just win this 1-0 and get over the line, didn't go that way. And then ended up being... do you remember that game a few seasons ago, Jamie? There was... I hate to give Spurs any airtime, but it was 2-2, Tottenham 2, Arsenal 2. And we had Francis Coquelin sent off.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do.
And then Spurs just came at us. And initially they couldn't score. Then they went 2-1 up, and then Sanchez equalised to make it 2-2.
Yeah. What's the funny thing about that, mate? I was watching it. So I was, at the time, me, my mum and my little brother were staying in a hotel because we'd been evicted from the house. And I went to a pub that was around the corner, and it was full of about 50 Tottenham fans. I went in there because I needed somewhere to watch the game. I went in my Arsenal top because that's when Harry Kane scored that goal against David Ospina, weren't it?
It was an insane goal.
Yeah, I was literally, brother, I was sat in a bar with about 50 Tottenham fans. And when that last goal went in, and when that last goal went in, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was full 50 Tottenham fans around me, and I was like, you know what? Started celebrating and just ran out of the pub quickly. One of them ones. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do what you're giving here, bro.
Yeah, it was a similar.
Are we happy to move on to the next one?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously it's Germany versus 2-0. Germany-Hungary 2-0 as we are speaking. I haven't watched any of the first half.
I saw the first goal. That first goal, was actually a deflection. Like, I watched that and I didn't even know it was the deflection. That ball actually went over the line. I only watched like the first half before we went live together. You get me. So I've only seen half of it, which is like the first half, not the second half. But the second half, I mean, if I've missed the second half of this game, I'm going to check the highlights of everything of that Germany game against Hungary. But to be honest with you, I know Germany are trying to win because their countries, the cities in Germany are like hosting the Euros, of course. And I've actually got a family member as my auntie's from Germany. So like each time I watched this game, Germany versus Hungary, I was supporting Germany for this, and I see Germany is going to get to probably the quarterfinal as well. But can I say something? If England makes it to the quarterfinal, I just pray we don't even get there, because you look back on Euro 2020. Yeah, we play them in the round of 16. The way they
Yeah.
pressed against us, they could have won us, but we were just so lucky with that win against Germany.
Yeah,
And
we
I
beat
remember
them,
that
yeah.
day.
But Josh, we won't. So if we top our group, we can't face Germany. Can't face them because
Yeah,
they've
I
just
know.
finished now. They've literally topped their group now. They've won
I
their
know.
group
I
pretty much.
can see that.
Yeah. So if we go through, we go on the other side of the draw. So we'd either we'd get France if they go through in the semis, but we'd get the third place team. Germany are qualified now. I'm looking literally at the results right now. If the Swiss draw with Scotland, the Swiss have to beat Scotland to be joint on points with Germany. Then it will go to that. But we can't face Germany unless we finish second in our group. Can't face them because we did a prediction over on here. But yeah, so looking into Germany, as you've just quite rightly done, Josh, Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz, people, you obviously watching my YouTube channel 5 days ago, before the tournament started. Are we in the tournament about a week now?
Yeah, around that.
Yeah, about a week deep now. So before the tournament started, I did on my predictions. I did a deep analysis into each group. Me and Sparks did it. I went over there and I put Florian Wirtz, Jamal Musiala, and Kai Havertz as my main threats for Germany. And I thought that they'd be the best, and I was right, completely right, because Florian Wirtz has been absolutely exceptional. That first game, I can't comment on this game because we've been doing this podcast, so I haven't watched this game here. But that first game, Florian Wirtz was unreal. Kai Havertz was unreal. Jamal Musiala, unreal. And it's just such a big shame that Jamal Musiala chose to play for Germany instead of England, because he came through the England setup. He played for the England under 16s, under 18s, under 21s. So it's such a shame, bro. We could have had Jamal Musiala in the squad.
Alongside Bellingham, no less.
Yeah, alongside Bellingham, and you'd have to drop Foden then, which I should. Shall we move over? You know what? Let's move over to England, yeah? I'm going to put out a question to you, Josh, then to you, Adam. We'll move over to England about their game on Thursday, so it's only tomorrow. Would you drop Phil Foden? I'll give my perspective first. I think Phil Foden should be dropped. I think he was in the limelight. He looked poor. He looked very, very poor. And people are on his case. I think take a bit of the pressure off him. Bring him off. Bring on either Anthony Gordon or Eze. I think Eze deserves a chance. I said, rightly so as well, on Adam's podcast. I think you were in there as well, Josh, that if Bukayo Saka plays poor, deserves to be dropped because there's players what can come in for him.
And to be honest with you, you're not wrong. I liked Bukayo Saka. He's my top favorite player at Arsenal.
Yeah, same as me, yeah.
I don't want him to be dropped, but if he doesn't want to be dropped, he has to play well. That's as simple as that. I mean, I don't want to be against him because I like him so much. I mean, I know I did criticize him in the past because of the way he played in Arsenal. He was playing rubbish, this and that, right there. But he's always improving because at the end of the day, he's still like one of the best players in like Arsenal. But like, well, according to I will give him an opportunity. But if he plays poor, then yeah, I see Southgate taking him off. But you said something about Phil Foden. Yeah, to be honest with you, the way Phil Foden played, I mean, he is one of the top players on Manchester City. He's really good scoring. But to be honest with you, if I was Gareth Southgate, I'd rather put him on the bench. He plays that same position as Jack Grealish would. So I'd rather start Jack Grealish, yeah, and then maybe on the second half, I'd take him off for Phil Foden, if you agree with what I'm saying, to give Phil Foden a bit of time.
Yeah, I understand completely. I think, like I've been saying, I think if Saka played like that, everyone would be shouting for him to be dropped. So I think that Phil Foden does deserve to be dropped. And then if we win this game, and they've already drew the other teams, yeah. So the last game, we're already qualified anyway. So we could drop Phil Foden now for someone, give someone a run out, and then get Phil Foden back in so he's ready for the round of 16. But you've got to get what I'm saying, give him another 60 minutes, but even bring him on the second half of the game in the next game. But I think he deserves to be dropped. Is there anyone else in that squad, Adam, that you could see being dropped? Like, or are you agreeing with me that Phil Foden should be dropped, or you think we can't drop Phil Foden? He was player of the season last season in the Premier League, but he's just not showing form in this tournament.
No, I absolutely agree with you, Jamie. He should be dropped. He deserves to be dropped. His performance was very, very poor, and we have so much talent. You know what I'm going to say, Jamie, because you've heard me say it a few times, mate. For me, I really want to see Palmer. I really do. I think he's just there aren't superlatives enough that I can use to describe how brilliant I think this player is. I think Cole Palmer is outstanding. I think he should be starting in the place of Foden. I completely agree that we should also give run-outs to the likes of Eze and Anthony Gordon, absolutely, because they are also both flair players. But I think it would be a real shame and a real almost criminal to not have these players get minutes on the pitch. We need to see sort of Southgate using his squad, because of course that's why they're there. And right, like you rightly say, Jamie, we're going to be in the last 16. I think we know that already. You know, we're going to be going through to the last 16. So it is about how you manage minutes for different players. It is about tactics on the day, depending on what team you're coming up against. And it is about ensuring that you've got the best group of players for any given situation. And I think, you know, that's so important. But to be honest, if it's Palmer, I'll be very happy. But if it's Eze, I'd equally be happy, because I'd like to see Eze given a chance as well. So, yeah, Foden's got to go for the next one.
Yeah. So, is there anyone else you could think of? Would you just keep the same squad?
Would you be happy for, like, you know, like, just to say, I mean, not just Saka only, would you be like happy if Declan Rice would start as well? Like, you know, do you?
Oh, of course, bro. Of course, Declan Rice is our most important player, bro. England's most important player.
Always, that's why I say, right, I call him Rice and Peace, because he's what everyone likes about him. Like, he's skillful, he can run. For a tall guy like him, he's got so much power in him. And I believe in the guy. You know, he's done really well in Arsenal. So I think he will do well in the Euros, as in England, you know. I mean, continue the way you play in Arsenal, do that in the Euros. You could even bring up this team to like get to the round of 16, because I'm just praying to like just get to at least the quarterfinal, so you could get to the semi-final and final. That's it. Southgate's really proud of the squad selection. I'm really proud of Southgate. I mean, I remember hearing a documentary about him saying how they've had like so much worse performances in the past. And why I'm saying all that, because it's been over 60 years now since England have not won a trophy. So I hope Gareth Southgate has really sat back and know what to do for tomorrow. Because tomorrow's our big moment for this, if we want to get to the round of 16.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, mate. I do think that he will go the same squad, though. Moving on to Ben Port, one of my loyal boys. He's always on my TikTok lives. He's always commenting on my stuff. He's part of my community over on TikTok. He has put, hello boys, if this was other players that played like Foden, they would get dropped. So have the same punishment when we need someone else that always wants the ball and tracks back on that side. Completely agree, bro. I completely agree with you, Ben, and I think that everyone else in here does. Do you agree with that, Adam?
Completely agree. Wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Same as me, bro. Great analogy there, Ben. He deserves. So this is what we said. If Saka played that way, everyone would be calling for him to be dropped. Every man and their dog would be calling for him to be dropped, because it's Phil Foden, the golden boy. He can't be dropped. But I don't want to. I will criticise Phil Foden, but I won't slate him. I won't say you're awful, mate. You're this, you're that. He played poorly, deserves to be dropped, and then he can come back in later on in the tournament. Just not right now. I just think he had a poor game, deserves to be dropped. Josh, what are you thinking of Ben's comment when he said like players like
if it was other players that played like Foden, they will get dropped. To be honest with you, he's not wrong. So like he says, Saka, if he plays like the way Foden play, he should be dropped. Well, I got like, you know why I don't like I don't want to be against Saka for playing like, you know, being sent off, because you know when Saka is like really got the fast and speed that like there's an Arsenal fans say he's world class, and I think he's world class. Yeah, but to be honest with you, obviously I will allow Saka, but if he does play like the way Foden played, then I'm sorry for Bukayo Saka, he will get sent off, because he cannot play like that in the Euros when we're just fighting to try and get to the quarterfinal. And the round of 16, then quarterfinals. So the boys just have to work together as a team and play properly. Because if the Saka plays like the way Foden played, then I will say, yeah, just take him off for someone else that will do it.
Yeah, and then Ben's correct as well, because Phil Foden don't track back. I want to touch on one thing as well about Phil Foden in that game. This ain't the take the mick out of Phil Foden show. Trust me, boys. I love Phil Foden as a footballer, and I just thought he was poor. If people know me, I'm not a deluded Arsenal fan. I'm very, very unbiased. I am very, very unbiased. I think Phil Foden, he did actually sit in that 10 position. He didn't play on the left wing. He sat in a 10 position, and Jude Bellingham roamed around, and everything in the 10 position. Phil Foden in the 10 position. He played in that 10 position. People, go watch the game back. Go watch it, because I sat there and I on the live watch along watching that England game. I said he's playing in the 10. So that's what Southgate's asked him to do, and he just played poorly in that position. At the start, the first 10-15 minutes games, 10-15 minutes of the match, I did find him, Jude Bellingham, having a nice little link up. It started out really promising, and then towards about the 20th to 30 minutes, I forgot Phil Foden was even playing for 50 to 60 minutes, which is really poor. And he shouldn't go missing because he's meant to be this big game player. Man City's won a Champions League. He's won, 4 or 5 leagues on the bounce with Man City. He's meant to be stepping up for England. And I know he still won 1-0, but he didn't convince me. And I do think that someone else should come in. And just people remember to hit that 3-punch combination by liking, comment, and subscribing. We've got a few people in here now. If you want to send over some questions now, because I've got a tight schedule, and I've got to shoot off in about 5 minutes. So if you want to get your questions,
I've got to shoot off in the next 2 minutes actually. So we can speak a few more before we go.
Yeah. So Josh, I'll touch on the last thing. Where do England finish? Not where you want them to finish, not you, because we all want them to win the Euros. Where do you?
I want them to win the Euros.
But I mean, what do you not what you think? What do you? What are you saying? Like realistically, they're going to finish, bro. Not what you want them to finish. What's realistic? Where do you think we go? Do you think we win it, or do you think like we'll go to quarters, semis, and go out?
I think we'll get to quarters and semis. Okay, like don't get me wrong, we will only get there if they perform and win in the next 2 games. Because after we've got England versus Denmark on Thursday, on the 25th of June, which is gonna be like this coming Tuesday. Yeah, I think who have we got this coming Tuesday? England. We got Croatia
again, bro.
Who we got this coming Tuesday after the England versus Denmark game? Because if they
Slovenia.
Okay, yeah. So if they do well in the next 2 games and win, then I see us getting to the quarterfinals and then semi-finals, and then
Yeah, well, if we top the group, we would have to play the 3rd place team of one of the other groups anyway. So it should be light work, but it never is. I'm just going to touch on Emily. So Emily's one of my good friends, and over on my TikTok as well. She's one of my mods. She's put no questions, just here to support. We thank you for the support, Emily. All 3 of us thank you for the support, Em. And I love you to bits, Em. You're a real one. Yeah. So there's a couple more comments. Let's get through these comments then, people. There's another comment here. I've just got to drag down on my cursor, which is not letting me. Right. Ben has put, sorry guys, my hay fever is going absolutely mad.
I've had hay fever. I've been sneezing literally.
Yeah, my nose is just dribbling so much. Yeah. If we win tomorrow, would you change our lineup for the last game or keep going strong? I'd completely change it. Not all of it, but I'd give Declan Rice a rest. I'd give the likes of Bukayo Saka a rest. I'd give the likes of Harry Kane a rest. I'd give Guehi a rest. Stones. Because Stones has looked leggy. They've played a lot of football this season. Saka's played over 60 games for Arsenal. Harry Kane scored 52 goals in like 56 games. He played 56 games with Bayern Munich. I bring these boys off. If we're already through and our squad, everyone keeps talking about how good England's squad is, we should be capable of bringing players off and still winning that last game against the likes of Slovenia. That's what I think. Josh, because I know you've got to go. Do you want to touch on that last comment for us, bro?
Yes, I see that. So all what you said, I actually agree. So all I can say is that the boys just got to fight, just work together, play hard, win. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So if not, I'll be back. Thank you for you lot that say. So big up to everyone in the cupboard, and I'm gonna have to go. But until next time, yeah. Thank you for
stay blessed, bro. Yeah, stay blessed.
See you later, mate.
So what we might as well do, because obviously, if any more comments, quickly get them in. But actually, you've got to touch on that comment there, Ads.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my perspective, I would agree with you, Jamie. I think we've got such a big squad that we need to be using it. So if we win tomorrow, I would change the lineup. Absolutely, I would change the lineup because we've got enough quality in that squad to beat most teams, especially if we are playing well on the day. I know, obviously, football is very much a form sport, but we've got more than enough quality to roll over most teams, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Well, people, we're going to leave it there. I've obviously been Jamie. I'm going to touch on one last thing like I always touch on, mental health awareness, people. Checking on someone today, whether it's friend or family. If you're on the bus, take out your headphones and just check the person next to you. Just check in on them, say, how are you? How's your day been? Be there for someone today and just go check in on them. I've been Jamie Waffles Footy, and I'm Jay Good at 17 over on TikTok. Do you want to say, put your plugs in there quickly, Ads?
Yeah. So I'm AGN Entertainment, also AGN Football as well over on TikTok. So yeah, would be Mightily chuffed if you could do the 3-punch combination, like, subscribe, and comment. That would be
Right, people. There you have it.
amazing.
Right, everyone, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you later. Peace.